And our relationship with Israel is basically now non-existent after the Albanese government voted to support a pro-Palestine motion at the UN earlier this week. Israel government spokesman David Mencer had an absolute crack at our government. Have a listen.
We certainly want it to be much better than it is right now. It's certainly causing us a fair amount of heartache, a country which we considered to be an ally. But we hope that things can improve.
Nick, that was pretty strong and comes in the wake of Benjamin Netanyahu having a crack at the Albanese government as well. The Israelis are not happy.
Yeah, and you and I know it's just a Labor government that's gone completely off the rails. You know, a Prime Minister who doesn't know which way's up and a Foreign Minister that has to have a very perverse view of world affairs. But look, overseas this is being treated very seriously. I was in Washington last week and there was dismay amongst our American colleagues at the stance Australia had taken. And clearly there is in Israel. I was distressed yesterday to read the Panahi report from Jerusalem that over there they're treating it very seriously. I think it is an appalling thing which we've done. You know, to back an unconditional surrender in Gaza is pretty much to hand the whole thing over to Hamas. It is disgraceful, it is appalling, and the sooner we get a new foreign minister and a new government, the better.
Michael Danby, just before this vote at the United Nations, the Prime Minister was at the Holocaust Museum in Sydney and he was, empathising with the plight of Jewish Australians, and he was actually asked, there's an upcoming vote at the United Nations, there's a rumour that Australia will be doing X, Y, Z, and the Prime Minister claimed not to know about the vote, certainly not to know what Australia was going to do. Was he having us on, or does he just not know what's happening at the United Nations under our name?
He was emoting at the museum. Of course he knows what's going on at the United Nations. And let me say to Penny Wong and Tony Burke, people in the real world don't care what you think. If they'd listened to you over Rafah or over Lebanon or over Nasrallah, we wouldn't be getting to the real end of conflict there. There's a ceasefire in Lebanon. We may have a real ceasefire in Gaza, but it's not anything to do with unilateral concessions that Comrade Wong and co are demanding and pounding the desk at the United Nations like Nikita Khrushchev. It's because the Israelis with military power are insisting that those evil bastards from Hamas release the innocent hostages before there's any ceasefire deal. And they're probably going to concede on whether the Israelis withdraw from Gaza or not. The Israelis are not going to withdraw from Gaza, and the Israelis are not going to pay any attention to Burke, Albo or Wong, who are playing student politics at the United Nations, and completely ignore the real world. The real world is better, Penny Wong, for the Israelis removing the chemical weapons from Syria by eliminating. Well done, IDF.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. If we want peace in the Middle East, the Israeli government should listen to what Penny Wong says and do the exact opposite. Michael, Nick, thanks for your time tonight. I appreciate it.